tomb makes my blood run chill. This is no place for living men. Let's find my friends. Let's hope for them.
Let me gather this. Bloom is beautiful and useful as well. like this.
We strike as one!
We must search for a key. Cannot do that yet. This is just what I needed. This should unlock.
strike as one!
Just what I needed.
Does your gear need repair?
I discovered these relics amid Old Kingdom ruins. Could they not be used to make a weapon of quality?
These are relics of my ancestors, made in a time before the lore of Numenor dimmed. If I had the use of a good smithy, maybe I could make something of worth from these, but not here in the field. If you're bound for Ривенделл, you'll find skilled smiths among Elrond's folk. Try taking these to one of them.
Are you in need of supplies?
Does your gear need repair?
He lives! But the spell of the Barrow lies heavy upon him. Awake now, Dunedain. Come back from the darkness. Awake!
No strength can prevail against this sickness. What good are swords in the face of this plague? What wasn't the name of... Eridan?
Yes, it's me, my friend.
I have been dreaming.
As you awoke, you spoke of a plague. Why was that?
I don't know. It was as if I was someone else. I remember a plague and despair.
The Great Plague. Nearly 300 years ago, it devastated the Dunedain of this region. You were sharing the dreams of those for whom this tomb was made.
Well, let those dreams remain with the dead. I want no more of them.
You should return to the light of day. You feel well enough to walk.
But if I was brought living into this tomb, then the same would be true for Kalaran. We need to find him.
That is what we intend to do. Are you strong enough to join us?
Yes, I think I can keep up with you.
This is no place for talk. Let's move.
something I can make use of.
It's Kalaran! He's a friend. I cannot.
The man you knew is dead. This is but a cruel trick. Defend yourselves. Aid me.
Aid our friend! Double click!
I cannot do that yet.
We strike as one!
That must wait. I must wait. I need more time. see a friend slain, and harder still to see his remains desecrated in this manner. At least Kilari is at rest now, but I'm concerned for your well-being.
First Black Riders, now Barrow-wites. This is more than men should have to contend with. But where there is life, there is hope. Thanks for your concern, but I will be all right. I owe it to those who have fallen to go on as best I may.
We have gathered many rich treasures from this tomb. You are entitled to a share of them.
Thanks, but it would only serve to remind me of all of this. You keep what you have won.
The Barrow-wites have been driven out, and the way back to the surface is clear. I trust you will be able to make your own way back to the Sarn Ford.
Andriel, welcome home. My sons informed us of your actions at Fornost. Such courage and resolve brings great honor to our household.
I am grateful for what you did at Fornost. If Agandar's forces had joined in the hunt, there is little chance that I and my charges would have made it here to safety.
I am glad to have been of service. Will you tell me what befell you after we parted?
I found the hobbit Frodo Baggins and his companions and led them through the wilderness, hoping to throw the Nazgul off our trail. All the same, 5 of them attacked our camp at Weathertop, and Frodo was badly wounded. After that, the enemy pursued us almost to the hidden pathways of Ривенделл itself. We never would have saved Frodo, except that we had the help of Elrond and his people.
It seems exceedingly strange that the most dreadful servants of the enemy would pursue a halfling in this manner.
I think it is time we told our newfound friends what they have gotten themselves into.
Mithrandir, I am happy to find you here, my friend.
Indeed. I am happy to find myself here as well. For like you, I have traveled a long and dangerous road to reach Ривенделл. But I think your friends may know me better as Gandalf.
Are you going to explain all that has happened, Gandalf? I'm eager to learn why the enemy sent the Nazgul into the Shire.
You have more than earned such an explanation. Tell me, what do you know of Isildur's Bane?
Isildur's Bane? That is another name for the Ring of Power.
Quite right. The Ring of Power. The One Ring. The ruling ring. After lying lost and nearly forgotten for centuries, Sauron's ring has once again been found.
The Hobbit? The one Aragorn rescued. He holds the Ring of Power?
I see now how close we came to utter ruin. But what is to become of the ring now that it is safe in Imladris?
There is no safe resting place for the ring. Not even here in Imladris. It is a danger to all who come near to it. There is only one course left to us. The ring must be destroyed.
To do so, the ring will need to be cast into the same fires from which it was forged. Those of Mount Doom, in the land of Mordor. The hobbit, Frodo Baggins, has agreed to take it there.
Surely you don't intend to send him there alone?
No, certainly not. A fellowship will be formed. A fellowship of 9. 9 walkers set against Sauron's 9 Black Riders. Among this fellowship will be representatives of all the free peoples of the world. Elves, dwarves, and men. Edagor...
We have proven our worth in battle already. Let us add our strength to this fellowship.
The hope of the Company of the Ring lies in speed and secrecy, not in strength of arms. Their number must be few. Even were we to send 1,000 such warriors on this journey, it would do little more than arouse the wrath of the Dark Lord.
We are at your service. Tell me what we can do.
The Nazgul and Agandaur are dire threats. We must learn all we can of their movements before the Fellowship is to depart. Scouts will be sent out in every direction to scour the lands around Ривенделл. Your aid in this would be of great service to our cause.
Very well. Where should we start?
Agandaur is our chief concern. Although the Nazgul are powerful foes, their mission here in the north is abundantly clear. We can only guess what Agandaur may be planning, or where he went after he escaped from you.
I suspect he may be planning to move against us here. Sauron's hatred of the elves is very great, and he does not forget the hand we played in his defeat during the War of the Last Alliance.
If it is strength he wants, he may well find it among the Etenmoors.
I know little of the Etenmoors. What can you tell me of this place?
The Etenmoors are a spur of the Misty Mountains, lying almost directly north of Ривенделл. It is a wild region of very rugged terrain, home to many trolls and giants.
I myself was in the Etenmoors but days ago. I saw no sign of Agandaur's presence, but neither did I encounter trolls. That fact alone is troubling. It could be that they are gathering in force, somewhere among the moors.
We will travel to the Etenmoors. If the enemy is active there, we will know of it.
From what I have heard of you, from Aragorn and Elrond's sons, I expected no less. Still, you have had a long road and hard fighting to get this far. Take what time you need to rest and recover before you set out. The Etenmoors are a dangerous place for the unprepared.
The hospitality of my house is yours, for as long as you wish. Andriel, I am glad you are here. I hoped I would have the opportunity to speak with you privately before you left for the Etenmoors. I wish to tell you how proud I am of what you accomplished at Fornost. You have brought great honor to our household. Indeed, all of Imladris is singing your praises. But I do not believe you have come merely to hear my thanks. Do you have questions for me?
I discovered this scroll at Fornost. It is tainted with evil, yet I thought it best you should see it.
A wise decision. This is writ in the black speech of Mordor, a language I will not utter here. It is intended to instruct the reader in the use of dark sorceries.
As repellent as these powers may be, could we not gain some advantage by making use of them ourselves?
Consider carefully what you are saying, Andriel. Have I not taught you why such a course would be the path of folly? This, like all works of the enemy, is altogether evil. Any who make use of this, even from a desire to do good, will only be corrupted by it. Surely the ring has taught us that much.
What can you tell me of the Black Speech?
A language devised by Sauron when he desired a single tongue to be spoken by all who serve him. He had small luck introducing it to the scattered tribes of orcs and trolls, but it is still used by his highest-ranking servants.
We encountered orcs at Fornost who used spells against us.
Then it seems this has already been put to use. That is grim news. The Dark Lord is a master of necromancy and other foul sorceries. He has taught these abominations to men in the past, but never, to my knowledge, to orcs.
Dare I ask you to explain more about the dark art of necromancy?
Necromancy is the darkest form of sorcery. It deals with raising the dead.
Sauron has such powers at his command?
He does indeed. It was for this reason he was known as the Necromancer when he still dwelt in the fortress of Dol Guldur in Mirkwood. At that time we did not know this was Sauron returned, but we knew there was a great evil there. Have you not experienced this power firsthand in your journey through the Barrow Downs? It was Sauron's chief servant, the Witch King, who summoned the Barrow Wights to infest those tombs.
But why would the dead men of the Barrow Downs serve the enemy? Many of them were our allies in ages past.
These shades are not truly the dead returned to life. Not even Sauron has that power. It is accomplished through the summoning of malignant spirits to inhabit the remains of the dead. It is a mockery of life, and the foulest form of desecration.
Then it is good we captured this from the enemy before it could cause further harm. What will become of it?
I will destroy this scroll, at the very least. But wait, here I discover more. Listen to what is written herein. Scribed by the hand of Agandaur, disciple of the great Lord Sauron, for the empowerment of his servant Wulfrun and those others of his faithful who prove worthy. I will speak no more of these blasphemies, but it does say that this scroll is one of 7 such works.
Seven at one time, perhaps. But Agandaur may well have created many more such scrolls since this writing.
Perhaps. But creating something of this nature is not a matter of simple scribing. Considerable preparation and effort is involved. We have reason to hope there are no more than 7.
So 6 more remain. Perhaps we might capture them as well.
That would be a great service to our cause. Should you recover them all, bring them to me, and I will ensure they are destroyed.
I will be certain to do so.
In the meantime, please accept this in appreciation for bringing this matter to my attention. Perhaps it will be of service to you in your travels.
There is something else. I discovered this tome hidden amid the ruins of Fornost.
Ah, now this is writing of an altogether more wholesome sort. This was not made by any minion of Sauron. but rather by the men of Arthedain, likely before the fall of Fornost.
It is many a long year since Fornost fell into ruin.
It is more than 1,000 years since the Witch King of Angmar conquered Fornost and brought about the end of the Dunedain kingdom of Arthedain. What a grim day it was.
Arthedain fell, but the line of kings was not extinguished.
It is true Isildur's line has remained unbroken. But without a kingdom to rule, they have not claimed the title of king and have been known simply as chieftains of the Dunedain. It is our friend Aragorn who currently bears that title, although he will be the last to do so. Either he will become a king, or Isildur's line will come to an end with him.
Perhaps this tome is a record of those days long past. It appears to use the Elvish characters as was common with those folk, but I can make little of it at a quick glance. Perhaps you can discover more.
Indeed. It seems to be a personal journal. And here is a name inscribed. M-A-L. Why, this appears to be a work of Malbeth, the seer of Arthedain.
Tell me about this realm of Arthedain.
Arthedain was the last fragment of the great northern kingdom of Arnor. The heirs of Isildur ruled as kings of Arthedain, until it too was destroyed by the enemy.
It appears to use the Elvish characters as was common with those folk, but I can make little of it at a quick glance. Perhaps you can discover more.
Indeed. It seems to be a
Malbeth? Was he not a visionary of some sort?
Many of the Dunedain race are gifted with foresight, but none more than Malbeth. He predicted the final destruction of the kingdom of Arthedain, which befell exactly as he had foretold. I will examine this work carefully. Who knows what other visions are here recorded? It may be that we will find something of value to us in this time of trouble. You did well in bringing this to me. Take this in way of thanks.
I am pleased to have been of service. Thank you and farewell. The shards of Narsil, sword of Ривенделл. Soon it shall be remade, and Aragorn will bear it to war.
Greetings, Andriel. I am glad for the chance to speak with an old friend. Need keeps me away from Imladris, but my thoughts are often with those who dwell here.
I would like to know more about those chosen to be part of your fellowship.
Who is it that interests you?
One elf at least goes with you on your quest. Tell me about Legolas.
It is fitting that we have a representative of the Eldar along with us. Your people have been foes of Sauron since before my ancestors returned to the shores of Middle-earth. The Elves of Mirkwood are constantly called upon to protect their realm from the many enemies that infest that wood. They are skilled warriors and unmatched archers.
What of this man of Gondor, this Boromir?
Boromir is the son of Denethor, the steward of Gondor. I had never met him before Elrond's council, but long years ago, under another name, I served his grandfather Ecthelion. The men of Gondor are valiant and strong, and by all accounts Boromir is foremost among them in courage and skill at arms. I suspect we will have need of his sword before our quest is through.
What can you tell me of the dwarf? Gimli.
I have spent little time among dwarves, but Gimli is one of Durin's folk, and the dwarves of that line are trusted by Elrond, in spite of the differences that sometimes divide elves and dwarves. If Gimli is like most of his kin, he will prove loyal and stout-hearted, enduring in hardship and fierce in battle.
What of these other hobbits? Is it wise to send so many of the little folk on this quest?
We are asking much of Frodo. Until recently, he had never set foot outside the confines of the Shire. It will be a comfort for him to have the familiar companionship of his friends and kin, in the face of so much that will be new and frightening. I have traveled with these hobbits, and they proved far more courageous and hardy than many would suspect.
You go now to claim your rightful place as the King of Gondor.
Above all, I go to help Frodo fulfill his quest. For unless the ring is destroyed, Gondor will soon fall, king or no king.
I gather you had never heard of Agandaur until these recent events.
I had never heard nor dealt with Agandaur specifically, but I know his kind. Years ago, I served in disguise in the armies of Gondor, where I contended with the corsairs of Umbar, who were often led by those akin to Agandaur. These black Númenóreans are a corrupt and wicked race. They worship Sauron as a god, and seek the utter destruction of all who oppose him.
You have traveled a great deal. Is there anything you can tell me of the Ettenwalls?
Only that it is a dangerous and unforgiving place. My own grandfather Alador was slain by trolls in the Ettenmoors. It is important we learn if the enemy is active in the moors, but we do not send you there lightly. Be on your guard at all times while you venture there.
I would like to know more.
Who is it that interests you?
What of Mithrandir, of Gandalf? The two of you are great friends. Can you tell me something of him?
To know all there is to know of Gandalf would require a lifetime study. There is much about him that remains a mystery, even to me. Yet he is a relentless foe of Sauron, and without his vigilance, the ring would already be in the hands of the enemy. His wisdom and leadership will be of great value to the Fellowship.
Good luck to you.
Ah, Andriel. It is good of you to seek me out. Though I did not say so before, I am most impressed by your skills as a lawmaster, and by the courage you and your companions have shown.
The Dunedain kingdom of Arnor fell long ago. There is nothing left in much of the north save ruins. Why would Sauron build a force here?
Sauron seeks dominion over all of Middle-earth. His desire is to order all things as he sees fit. Even were these lands empty from here to the sea, still, he would seek to control them. There is power in Ривенделл that could stand against him when all others fall, for a time. And this is something Sauron cannot allow.
Of all those now threatened by the enemy, the Shire folk are the least able to defend themselves. Perhaps I am needed there.
I believe Elrond has made his wishes clear, Andriel. He knows you are needed urgently elsewhere. With the flight of the ring in this direction, the enemy is looking this way, and has forgotten the Shire for now. For now. But eventually his eye will turn once again toward the Shire, as humble as it is. Hobbits as miserable slaves would please him far more than hobbits happy and free. And there is such a thing as malice and revenge. Sauron will leave the final devastation of the Shire to his servant Agandaur. And that is yet another reason why you must find him and put an end to his designs. In opposing Agandaur, you are defending the Shire.
You may have heard that Bellerom aided us at Fornost. Surely we could call upon the Eagles to aid in the matter of the ring.
I don't fault you for thinking along those lines. Why not beg a ride from an eagle, fly far out to the west, and drop the ring into the deepest part of the sea? Such ideas were debated at Elrond's council. But there are many things in the deep waters, and seas and lands may change. We cannot think of our time alone. We must destroy this thing forever.
Agendar struck me as being older than he appeared. Have you ever encountered him?
Well, I know nothing of Agendawa himself. I have seen his kind at other times in distant lands. He is likely a black Numenorian, and a master of dark sorceries.
It was long ago, even before my birth, when those distant kin of the Dunedain fell into evil. If he comes of that bloodline, he is even more dangerous than I had imagined.
Who can say what promises Sauron has made to him? Perhaps even a ring of his own. At the very least, Agendawa expects to rule all of the North. He would be a cruel tyrant. The elves he will seek to utterly destroy. Hobbits, men, dwarves, any that survive, will be enslaved. And he will raise an Iron Kingdom in the North, in mockery of the ancient glory of Anor. This is his dark dream. It must never come to pass.
When we first arrived, you said you recently passed through the Etten Moors. Is there more you can tell me?
It is a rough and empty land, home to many trolls. I passed through with great haste, for I needed to reach Ривенделл as quickly as I could.
And yet you saw no sign of trolls?
I saw neither trolls nor fresh signs of them, and that disturbs me more than encountering one. I doubt they've all packed up and left. Mindless brute creatures they may be, yet they can be used and driven to even greater wickedness by a strong enough hand. Agendawa could well be forming them into an army.
You believe he is mustering the trolls for an attack?
That is my fear. I would gladly be proven wrong, but my heart misgives me that somewhere in the Etten Moors, you will find them gathering and being prepared for war. We must know. Such a force could be sent against Ривенделл, perhaps in hopes of capturing the ring.
I will gather my friends and set out for the moors. We will see what we can learn.